It is 2023. As with every new year, everyone around the world has been setting their New Year's resolutions, establishing goals, and making list upon list of all the things that they would like to do this year. Our first guest of the day will speak to us about another way we can all continue to ring in the new year. That is by using devotional journals. Dr. Marissa Carty has created not one, but two 2023 devotional prayer journals. Allow us to welcome her back to Good Morning SKN to tell us about the fruits of her labor. Good morning, Dr. Carty, and welcome back to Good Morning SKN on our very first show of the year. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me here, and a Happy New Year to you and your
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Same to you. So what led up to the launch of this journal last month?
Well, actually, it came from a personal experience I was having. I recognized that for a while my prayer life was
Okay.
not very focused. Wake up, I would have my morning devotions, and somewhere along the line things became very monotonous. The prayers tend to be the same over and over, and I realized that that was not necessarily the best thing for me, especially in terms of trying to improve my relationship with God. As a Seventh-day Adventist Christian, I think it's important for me to have that communication, that connection with God. Prayer has been something that has been a part of my life for quite a long time. If I can share an experience with you, actually, when I was about 10 years old, I had a problem with my knee, got an infection in the knee, had to be hospitalized. And the doctors actually told my mom and I that if the fluid that was collecting in my knee hadn't gone down, they would have to drain it. I was 10 years old and looking at potentially having a needle stuck in my knee to draw out the fluid. And I was not very happy with that. And I remember that night laying on that bed in the pediatric ward and praying. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And the following day, when the doctors came back and they checked the knee and so forth, they told us that they wouldn't have to drain it again.
Wow.
That was my very first experience of having my prayers answered. And I think that led me to, having this prayer life that I've come accustomed to. I don't subscribe to only having that one-time devotional prayer experience. I talk to God anytime I need to. But I do find that sometimes that formal prayer time is very powerful, especially when it's done in the morning. It helps you to carry you through the day. And that is what I was experiencing, not having that, that power was kind of waning. And I wanted to find a way to try and strengthen it again. I checked online for different prayer journals, different things that I could use, but I realized that I needed probably to create something that was more meaningful to me, that was specific to me, and that's where I came up with the Power of Prayer journal. So each day, I did it as a weekly journal, so each week has the days of the week, and I have a line, about 5 lines for each day, where I can put something specific that I want to pray for on that day. Okay. And that helps to focus the prayers a bit more for that specific day. Okay. And then I also have a section where I have special prayer requests. What I find kind of interesting is that sometimes you pray and God answers your prayers, but then you don't have anything to go back to remind you of those prayers that He has answered. And I found that, having that little section where I can write that specific prayer request, and then under it I have answered and the date. So I can actually tick it off and write in the date of when that prayer request was answered. And that kind of uplifts, because when you're able to go back and see all that God has done for you over the time, you can truly, improve that relationship with Him and realize that He's always there for you. So that's basically the inspiration for the adult one, which is the Power of Prayer journal.
So we're speaking on inspiration. So since the launch, how has this journal inspired others?
Well, when I launched both of them at the same time. What happened is that when I was doing the adult journal for me, I recognized that helping young people or helping children to learn more about prayer and what prayer is all about, and to help them to improve their prayer life with Christ was also something I was interested in. And so I started to develop the Dear Jesus Prayer Journal for children. What I did with that one, however, was I did it a little different from the adult one, where it's still a weekly journal, but what the children can do is that there are sections where they can thank God for something. There's another section where they can, ask Him for their whatever special requests that they have. But one of the things I included in that one was a section where they can ask God to bless someone. I thought it was important for them to learn to intercede on other person's behalf, pray for persons early, and learning how, they can make a difference in other people's lives. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. So what have the adults said? Have they said, Dr. Carty, we've been through the same thing and we're so grateful for this book. Thank you for writing it.
Well, yeah, I still haven't heard from anyone who has actually purchased the journal as yet, because like I said, it's still quite new. Okay. So I'm waiting feedback on it from persons. But I did get feedback when I did do the launch of persons saying, congratulations, this is a good step. We're looking forward to seeing what this journal can do for us in our lives. So I did get positive feedback for it.
Okay, so this journal is for the entire year?
Yes, it's 52 weeks for the adult. I think it's maybe a little more than 52 weeks for the children, but you can use it however you want. It doesn't have to just last for the entire year, because some persons may not use it every day, but when they feel the need for that special time or whatever, they may use it. So I didn't really put in any dates or anything in it, because I didn't want it to be too specific. Okay, and I want persons to be able to purchase it or get it whenever they feel like and start using it.
Exactly. So they don't feel like they missed all those days.
Exactly.
You mentioned the children's devotional having more weeks than the adults. Why? I
think it's probably maybe just one of us. So it's just how it happened. Okay. There was no specific rhyme or reason for it.
I was just saying, okay, maybe she thinks the kids have more time.
No, not really.
So we're busy as adults.
Yes.
How would you suggest that the adults use it and ensure to encourage the kids to do the same on a daily basis?
Right. Find that time within the day that you can set aside to have that personal relationship, that personal time with God. It may not be the same time for everyone. For me, it's in the morning. When I wake up, you do your morning little things, and then you go into your devotional time. For others, they might find it best to do it in the evening when everybody is home, and they can find that time to sit down and do it with their kids. I don't have any children. I live alone. So, you have to find that time within your day that you find it more feasible for you to have that devotional, that time that you can dedicate specifically to God and have that devotion. Yeah.
Wow. I just like this. There's so much I like about it. So we can pray in the morning, we can pray at lunchtime, we can pray whenever.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it doesn't even have to be a formal prayer where you close your eyes and clasp your hands as they usually teach you in Sunday school. Yeah. Exactly. Personally, like I said, I talk to God anytime, anywhere. If I have a decision to make and I really, really want His input, I just say, Lord, help me. I have this to do. And, it's very informal. Yes. But then there's always, as I said, that time when you want to have that formal, communication with Him. Indeed.
So I know as adults we're procrastinators. How long did it take you to get these two journals together?
Let me be honest. It's been a while. I actually thought about doing the prayer journal for myself for over a year. And then I finally got the opportunity to go on vacation in November. Yes.
Like that finally.
Well, you know how it has been
Yes,
recently,
indeed.
right?
Yeah.
So, and while I was on vacation, I took the opportunity to sit down and just reflect on stuff that I've been going through, my family and so forth. And I thought that it was time for me to put it together. I had the time, and I decided to just sit down and get it done. And like I said, it's not really a devotional where you have this long passage to read or anything like that. It was very simple to put together. It was just a template that I thought would help me, and I decided to share with others by putting it together in a book.
How did you think you writing your devotionals would impact both the adults and children?
Well, like I said, I recognize that over time, prayer can become very repetitive. We tend to lean into one specific type of prayer. You know, when we were children, we were taught to kneel at our bedside and say the Our Father prayer, and then we would jump into bed. And as you get into adulthood, it can become the same monotonous type of praying over and over. And so what I thought was, if I could find a way to help persons to, or help me first of all, to focus my prayers on specific things. In the prayer journal, what I did was I actually had, I have a space in the journal where you can list the names of friends, family members. I think I had government and government ministries, just community persons. And then also, if you have prayer partners that we pray with in church and so forth, you can make those lists. And then every day you can take a name from that and put it into the space in the journal. So then that will help you to be able to focus your prayers on a daily basis. So just being able to focus your prayers so that you're not just repeating the same thing over and over. And I think that would help to strengthen our prayer lives.
Indeed, and it makes sense because I must confess, my morning prayers are very monotonous. Same thing over and over. I remember to pray for the government officials, the leaders, the pastors, Israel, everybody that the Bible tells me to pray for every morning. But it's the same. It's basically the same word.
Yes.
So I'll definitely have to get my hand on that. So I'm not.
I hope you do.
Monotonous. So,
yes.
So writing can be a process. Tell us some of the highs and lows.
Well, like I said, it's a low content book, so there's not much writing. I did write a preface or forward to the book, just to explain why I thought that this prayer journal was important, and having persons, take the opportunity to improve and strengthen their prayer life through giving thanks, through asking for special requests and seeing them answered and so forth. At the end of the prayer journal for the adults, what I did was I added a section on memory. How should I put it? Memorizing scripture. Because I thought that is also an important aspect of our devotional lives, being able to commit specific passages of scripture to memory. That could also help us throughout the day. Sometimes we're going through situations and one of those passages that we would have memorized pops in and helps us to get through or get over that situation. And so at the end of the adult one, the power of prayer, I added that section. It's 365 promises that persons can memorize as they go through the year, using the prayer journal. For the children's prayer journal, I simply added a text each week that the children can learn as well as they go through using their prayer journal as well. So I kind of wanted to find a way to merge studying the Bible along with your prayer time.
Indeed. And as the kids would say, there's a memory verse.
Yes, exactly. The memory verse. That's it. Yes.
So you mentioned a few of the uniqueness of your journal. Which one stands out the most for you in both?
The special prayer requests. Because I'll always stick to the fact that seeing and your prayers answered and being able to experience the fact that God was the one who answered that prayer for you is an important part in strengthening your relationship with Him. So that having that section where I can write down that special prayer request, leave it up to Him to give the answer, and then when He does answer it, I can, say, okay, it was answered at this time. I think that is the most important part of the prayer journals for me.
Mm-hmm. So I want to know some of the other benefits of incorporating a devotional in your daily life.
Just simply having peace throughout the day, because once you start your day with that devotional time, it sets the mood for how you will go through your day. A lot of times, different things come up during the day that could get you either upset, just get you off of the track that you were going to, but then you remember, or something from your devotion pops into your mind, and you say, okay, I can go through this. I can deal with this. God will allow me. And then you say a little prayer even then.
Yes, exactly.
And then you go through the rest of the day. So I think having a devotional life, specific devotional life, helps you throughout the day. Now, like I said, some persons may do it in the evenings, but that doesn't mean it cannot help them throughout the following day.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So even though you find your time throughout the day when you can have that personal devotional time, but trust me, it will help you throughout the following day.
It will help you throughout life, I believe.
Yes.
As whenever you do it and as you continue along, it will be beneficial.
Definitely.
So how can one purchase these journals?
Oh, well,
or where?
Okay, so right now they're only available on Amazon. Okay. You can either type in the Power of Prayer Journal with my name behind it, so that one comes up. It's like how it's new. It's not easy to find through the search, I must admit. Okay. It is a fairly new publication. So if you do type in the Power of Prayer and then my name, then it will come up as probably the first item on the search.
So the Power of Prayer and your name.
Yes. Okay. And then you can do the same for the children's journal. So just type in Dear Jesus Prayer Journal with my name, and then that will come up as well. Right now, we don't have any physical copies on Ireland.
How soon do you estimate to have physical copies though?
I'm still working on it.
Okay. She's working on the master plan, guys.
Yes.
We will have them in hand soon. So can you encourage our audience? We know it's the new year, it's the 4th day in. Some people may already be going through challenges. So can you encourage them to make prayer part of their daily lives, as you say, whenever they do it, and just let them know the significance that it can have as well before we go?
Devotion in general is a very, very important part of our lives. And prayer is that glue that sticks that devotional time to us and the communication with God. So I would encourage everyone to find that specific time during your day, whether it's in the morning, midday when you have time maybe from work, or in the evening with your family. Just find that time when you can sit and have that personal devotional time with God. And I can assure you, it is a guarantee that your life will be better for it.